Hello everybody. In the previous video we had done till question number 9 from exercise 3.1. Now we are going to continue with exercise 3.1, but before we move on to the next questions, I would like you to give a short idea on absolute values. What do you mean by absolute values? Absolute values means the magnitude of the number ignoring the sign of the number. Suppose you are given -3 and you have to find the absolute value of -3. Now see, with these two vertical lines we denote the absolute value. So the absolute value will be 3. So the absolute value of +3 will also be 3. So I repeat, only the numeric magnitude is the absolute value and we drop the sign, we ignore the sign. So let's do some more examples. If I say -17, so what is the absolute value? Only 17. Absolute value of +20, it will be only 20. But if I write minus of absolute value of -17, this will be -17. Why? Because this minus sign is because of this negative sign is given, not because of this. Okay, this magnitude is giving me only 17 and this sign is giving me this negative sign. So if I have minus of +17, then also my answer will be -17. Why? Because magnitude of +17 is only 17 and this negative sign is giving me this negative sign on the left hand side. I hope the absolute value is clear to you. Now let us move on to the next question, question number 10. Let us start with question number 10, exercise 3.1. So part 1. Let's read the question. How many integers between -15 and -7? How many integers between -15 and -7? Now, if you read the question, you will realize that the term between is very important. So that means you have to exclude -15 and -7. Now if you have to do that, you can use a number line to do it, or you can just do manually. Let's do it manually because the numbers always may not be in the same range. So if we use manually, so -15, -14, -13, -12, -11, -10, -9, -8, -7. So it's between, so I will not count these two numbers. Let's count how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there are 7 integers. This is the first method. Now this method is applicable only for a small range of numbers. But when the range becomes huge, then it is very difficult to do it manually or draw it on a number line. Then we have to do the subtraction method in order to find out. Let me give an example which is not there in the book. Let us find out how many integers between -15 and +7. So if it is -15 and +7, then this is the greater number and this is the smaller number. So let us follow the process that we had used in the previous exercise, chapter 2, that we have we have to do it in this way. minus 15, minus 14, then we have 0, then we have 1, 2, 3 in this way, then 6, and then 7. Now I will not count these two because it's given between, so I have to exclude minus 15 and 7, and I have to count the numbers from minus 14 to 6. So in between these two n numbers, 6 is greater than minus 14, so it is the greater number minus the smaller number. Number means the range, plus 1. Why plus 1? It was explained that since while subtracting we exclude the smaller number, we don't count the smaller number, we have to consider that. So here the greater number is 6, and this minus the smaller number is minus 14 plus 1. So 6. Now this will become plus. Whenever you have these brackets operation, if we have to see the sign that is outside the bracket and the one that is inside the bracket before opening the bracket. Now if there is minus sign on both sides of the bracket, then the resultant is a plus sign. So this will be plus 14. But if there is again both plus, then also it is plus. If outside is minus and inside we have a plus sign, then the resultant is a minus or negative. And if it is plus sign on outside of the bracket and negative sign inside the bracket, then also the resultant is negative. So we are using this plus 1. So which is equals to 20 plus 1, 21. Let us apply this formula over here. We have to find how many numbers from minus 14 to minus 8. Now here we know that minus 8 is greater than minus 14, because in negative numbers, smaller the numeric value, greater is the integer. So greater number minus the smaller number plus 1. So minus 8, minus and minus will give you plus 14 plus 1, which is equals to then 4 plus 14 plus 1 minus 8, which is equals to 15 minus 8, which is equals to 7. See, you get the same answer as you got here. So when it is a small range given, you can do it manually, but when the range is big, you can use this formula. Both the processes are correct. Let's move on to question number 11. In question number 11, we have used a lot of absolute values. Absolute value of 13 minus 5. So the mathematical operation is inside the absolute value. So 13 minus 5, we have to do the subtraction first, and then we will find out the absolute value. So this is plus 8, which is, now let's find the absolute value. Absolute value means only the numeric value, ignoring the sign or dropping the sign. So that is only 8. Here also we are not going to give any sign. Let's come to 11 subpart 3. Now here the operation is outside the absolute values. So first we are going to find out the absolute value, then add them. Absolute value of minus 11 will be only 11, plus absolute value of plus 9 will be only 9, which is equals to 20. Now this is the absolute value of 7, this is the absolute value of minus 3. So 7 minus is outside the vertical line, so this is the operation that you have to do. Absolute value of minus 3 will be 3. So 7 minus 3, 4. So here absolute value of minus 19 is only 19, minus absolute value of minus 13 is only just 13. So 19 minus 13 is 6. We don't give the sign in these cases.